Once upon a time, in the quiet town of Eugene, Oregon, a story emerged that would captivate the nation and leave people questioning the depths of human cruelty and resilience. This is the astonishing story of Colleen Stan, a young woman who endured unimaginable horrors before ultimately finding her way back to freedom. Colleen Stan, a 20-year-old woman with dreams and aspirations like any other, lived a simple life. In May 1977, she was hitchhiking her way to a friend's birthday party when her life took an unexpected and dark turn. A seemingly ordinary car stopped to give her a ride, driven by Cameron and Janice Hooker, a seemingly ordinary couple. As Colleen climbed into the car, she had no reason to suspect that this decision would forever change the course of her life. The Hookers had a sinister plan in mind, one that would make Colleen their prisoner for the next 7 years. The Hookers took Colleen to a secluded cabin deep in the mountains, miles away from civilization. It was there that Colleen's nightmare truly began. Cameron and Janice revealed their true sadistic intentions, chaining her in a specially designed wooden box beneath their bed. The head box in Colleen Stan's case was a small, specially designed enclosure that was part of her captivity. It played a crucial role in her physical and psychological confinement, and its design was meant to dehumanize and control her. It was essentially a box-like structure with an opening for her face. The box itself was small, measuring approximately 20 inches in length, 18 inches in width, and 10 inches in height. The opening for her face was typically covered with a hinged door or lid, which could be locked or secured in place. The primary purpose of the head box was to keep Colleen's head and face enclosed and hidden from view. This isolation was part of the psychological control and dehumanization tactics used by her captors. When the box was closed, Colleen's vision was severely restricted, as her field of view was limited to a small opening in front of her face. This sensory deprivation added to her overall feeling of helplessness and isolation. For 7 years, Colleen Stan lived in darkness, confined to a coffin-like box that measured only 2 feet by 3 feet. She was given very little food and water, subjected to unimaginable physical and psychological abuse, and forced to comply with her captors' every whim. Colleen became a mere object, a slave to the Hookers' twisted desires. Janice, Colleen's female captor, was initially an unwilling participant, but Cameron's manipulation and coercion soon had her deeply involved in the horrors inflicted upon Colleen. They also forced Colleen into a life of intimate slavery, using her as a pawn in their depraved sexual fantasies. Colleen endured countless acts of violence and degradation. Amidst the darkness and despair, Colleen clung to the hope of one day escaping her hellish prison. She held on to the memory of her family and friends, the life she once had, and the belief that there was a world beyond her wooden cell. Her determination to survive was unbreakable. Despite the horrors she endured, Colleen found a way to adapt to her circumstances. She befriended rats that shared her dungeon, learning to communicate with them and finding solace in their company. Her ingenuity and resilience helped her to survive in the most extreme conditions. Colleen's captivity took an even more twisted turn when Cameron Hooker decided to brainwash her. He introduced her to a cult-like ideology, convincing her that a secret organization known as the Company would harm her and her family if she attempted to escape. Under the constant threat of harm to her loved ones, Colleen felt powerless to resist her captors. But then a glimmer of hope emerged. Cameron Hooker, her primary captor, started to feel guilty about the unimaginable suffering he had inflicted on Colleen. He began to believe that there was a way for her to leave the Company and be free. This sudden change of heart led to an unexpected turn of events. In 1984, after 7 years of captivity, Cameron Hooker unexpectedly allowed Colleen to visit her family under the condition that she would return. Colleen seized this opportunity and, with great courage, reached out to her family for the first time in years. Her family had not given up hope and had continued to search for her, despite all odds. Upon being reunited with her family, Colleen finally broke free from the chains of her captivity. She revealed her horrifying story and identified her captors. This revelation led to the arrest of Cameron and Janice Hooker, who were subsequently charged with numerous horrible crimes. Bondage devices and mind-blowing evidence was found inside the house of the Hookers. The horrible devices and evidence proved Colleen's suffering in these 7 years. The trial that followed captivated the nation as the details of Colleen's unimaginable ordeal were brought to light. Colleen's testimony was pivotal in ensuring that justice was served. In 1985, Cameron Hooker was sentenced to 104 years in prison, while Janice Hooker received a reduced sentence of 15 years in exchange for her testimony. Colleen Stan's remarkable story of survival and resilience continues to serve as a testament to the strength of the human spirit. She rebuilt her life after her harrowing ordeal, proving that even in the darkest of circumstances, hope and determination can lead to freedom. Today, Colleen Stan is an advocate for victims of abuse and human trafficking. She tirelessly shares her story to raise awareness and inspire others to find the strength to escape their own personal prisons. Her story remains a chilling reminder of the capacity for both cruelty and courage that exists within the human heart. Colleen Stan's tale is one of unimaginable suffering and unfathomable strength, reminding us all that the human spirit can endure even the most horrific of circumstances and ultimately find its way back to the light. Also, watch this heartbreaking case of a 2-year-old baby who was abducted by 2 evil 10-year-old boys. And make sure to subscribe the channel.